In this episode, we answer, do you believe in vegetarianism? Why do I need to eat protein? I don't get very long in the gym because of family. How can I build up my strength? What can I substitute for spaghetti? And what exercise should I do after a hip operation?
You ask questions, and we'll answer them. This is the Ask DVCC show.
Hey, this is Mark and Steve from the DVCC, and this is the Ask DVCC show. So today we've got some more questions. We've got 4 questions that have been tweeted, emailed in, and Instagram commented to us. We're going to answer them now for you. The first one is...
Why do I need to eat protein?
Why do you need to eat protein? Well, probably the most simple answer is to survive. Basically, we can survive without carbohydrate, but we cannot survive without protein. So just to literally exist, you have to have some form of protein from your diet. Now, obviously, you can survive with very little, but you're not going to be living optimally. So what we're talking about is you need to have protein to live optimally. Now, the reason for that is protein has a load of different functions and loads of different effects on your body, not least of which obviously is maintaining or building muscle tone. Now that is obviously very important. As we get older, the more muscle tone we have is linked with longevity, living for longer. But it's also really, really important in detoxification. So what happens is the amino acids, I'm not going to go into real depth because you only want to know what actually happens, but the amino acids from protein help your body along with detoxification. So basically, we need to detoxify loads and loads every single day. I can't even remember if it's hundreds or thousands, but so many different things come into our body, into contact with our body every single day that we need to detoxify and to get out, to be able to actually survive and to thrive. So those amino acids form a very crucial role in the whole detoxification process pathway. And without them, we literally will end up with all of these toxins, all of this stuff that we're not designed to take in, that we can't sustain healthily inside our body because we can't get rid of it. So, in short, we need it for every process in the body, and particularly detoxification, which actually, on a side note, is why juice diets and all those things that don't contain any protein are never the best for you, because you can't detoxify. So when they're saying you're detoxifying, you're not. They're fibbing. That's right. All right, next question is...
Do you believe in vegetarianism?
Now, good question. I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in vegetarianism because there's thousands and millions of vegetarians across the world. So it's kind of a funny question. But it's just a choice. So vegetarianism is just a choice. Now, it gets quite a lot of... If you believe in it, that's the different question. Yes, you believe in it, but the point is... Potentially the question and what they meant is, do you think it's the best thing for weight loss? Do you think it's the best diet choice? Now, actually, funny side note, we were vegetarians for 4 years? No, I think it was like 3 years. 3 years when we were pretty young. We went downstairs without our parents knowing, watched a Open University thing on slaughter, and then decided we were vegetarians. I think we were it was between like 13 and 16 or 12 and something like that. Much to our grandparents' dismay. Yeah, really bad. They still bring it up, So anyway, yeah, we do, of course we believe in it. It's, like we say, it's a choice. A lot of people do it for religious reasons, a lot of people do it because they don't like the taste. I don't eat fish. If I didn't like the taste of meat, I wouldn't eat meat. Do we think it's the best thing for weight loss and muscle gain? No, but there's plenty of ways around that fact, and it doesn't have to hinder you, and it doesn't have to be an excuse for not losing weight, which a lot of people do use it for. There's plenty of ways around it. I personally wouldn't choose to be a vegetarian. If I was looking at the fact of eating meat or not eating meat for weight loss and general health, I would choose to eat meat. But, like I say, it's a choice. Having said that, it's important the type of meat you choose, and that will be an argument that someone would then throw. And that is obviously important because, yes, if it's the choice between eating really, really processed meat, loads of salami every day and really bad meat for you, would you then be better off being vegetarian? Then actually, yes, you probably would. So it has to come with context. We always get comments from people that are vegetarian advocates. They go very aggressively thinking that we're super against it. We're not. So just bear that in mind when you're leaving comments. No swearing, please. But yeah, so that's in short. So really, there's loads of ways. There's a few nutrients you want to be mindful that you're taking when you're a vegetarian. B vitamins can be one. And often the thing is, if you are vegetarian, then you'll obviously have looked into this a lot of the time. But there is no, it's not better than something else or worse than something else. Last comment I'll make is that when we were vegetarians, our mother looked into foods that had high protein because she knew we were going to be struggling to get protein in, and we got plenty of protein because she made a concerted, real effort to make sure that we got the...
It's possible, it just takes a little bit more intentionality, a little bit more effort to make sure that you're getting everything that you need to get.
Exactly. So, next question is...
I don't get long in the gym due to family. How do I build up my whole body?
We've answered this question maybe years ago, but there's a few different exercises that are better than others. So, for example, if you're trying to build up your whole body and you have limited time, you want to use what's called your most bang for your buck exercises. So that's exercises that use multiple different joints, multiple different muscle groups, because most bang for your buck. You're using the most part of your body for that one exercise. An example would be what's termed a snatch grip deadlift. That basically is your arms very wide and you're doing a deadlift. That is far better than standing there doing bicep curls because you're only using one joint. Okay, so you're using multiple joints and multiple muscle groups. That's one method.
So the type of exercise Mark's talking about are called compound lifts. So things that use more than one joint, they really challenge your whole body. And that would be the most efficient way of actually building a whole body in a shorter period of time.
Simples. Next question is...
What can I substitute for spaghetti?
Now, I've actually, over the years, trained loads of Italians. And obviously, I always got the conversation, well, I go home every Sunday to my families, and it's always pasta. There's always pasta. I struggle to not have anything else. And actually, I got them turned on to, and the whole family turned on to, spiralizers. So, spiralizer is basically a little device, very cheap, on Amazon or wherever, and it allows you to spiralize pretty much any vegetable. So you put it in, twist it, and spaghetti style, whatever it is you put in, comes out. So often people use squash, they use cucumber, courgette, mostly courgette, to replace spaghetti, as in pasta spaghetti. It's brilliant. It serves the purpose. You wouldn't really know, you'd notice the difference in taste perhaps, but in terms of bulk, adding bulk to a meal, you don't notice the difference, and it's very, 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 very good replacement for wheat-containing spaghetti. Agree?
Yeah, 100%.
What exercise should I do after a hip operation?
Well, obviously, that's dependent on what your doctor and your physio, because you should have had rehabilitation stuff done afterwards. So you want to be careful, and you want to make sure that you do follow that whole process and you don't try and get back into things very quickly. But realistically, you want to start very slowly, and you want to start things that will not put too much pressure. So you're not going to go straight into squatting. You're not going to go straight into doing lunges and things like that.
Not lunges.
That you've not done since your operation, or maybe you did them before, but they're not the ones you're going to start back with. You're going to do things like what we would do here at the DVCC is you'd maybe pull a sled backwards, which doesn't put much pressure on your hips because you're not really bending at the hip. And you'd maybe walk with a prowler. There's lots of different ways you can do this, but the key is that you're not doing things that will cause a lot of stress around the joint, which is the most important thing.
And you can make really full recoveries, be really strong. A good example is chap Dan, who's trained with us for many a year. He's had both hips replaced, I believe. Yeah, he did lots of sled pulling, prowler pushing, a lot of it, and simple exercises, but he's now squatting fully, like he's been doing it for years now.
He's fine,
he's strong and good because he progressively increased the load and the complexity of the exercise as he got stronger and stronger. All right, so, as always, we ask a question of the day. It's beautiful weather today. The question of the day is, what are you getting up to today? Are you at work? Are you at play? What are you up to today? Comment in the box below, and we will see where everybody is at. As always, any questions, fire them across to us. This is Mark and Steve from the DVCC. Bye-bye.